At CES 2023, I finally had the chance to try out the Sony PlayStation VR2 and Horizon Call of the Mountain. Although my experience with it was short at about 20 minutes, the experience was amazing overall. However, it wasn't perfect. Today, I'll share my initial thoughts. Hi, I'm Cas and I just got back from Vegas, so I'm a bit tired right now and I caught a little cold. It's not COVID, I tested, but you can probably hear that my voice is slightly off, so I'm sorry about that. So my full CES video with all the highlights is also coming this week, so subscribe if you haven't yet to follow everything about VR and AR and now join me beyond reality. First, a little update about Sony's keynote at CES, where they talked about the PSVR2, but they didn't have a lot of news. But the two things they did announce was that Gran Turismo 7 will be VR compatible when the PSVR2 launches. I know a lot of people was waiting for this, so here it is. And we also got Beat Saber confirmed. And if you've missed it, the PSVR2 is coming out on February 22nd and you can pre-order one for at least $550. If you want to know all the specs and new features, I recommend you watching my previous videos, which I will link below. So at the show, this is where I got to try the PSVR2. On the screen, they showed my gameplay in real time. After a quick introduction, they let me put on the headset myself to show how easy it was. The strap is almost the same as the first PSVR. It's a halo strap with a wheel at the back to tighten it. You can still stretch the head strap to wear the headset, and there's a button at the bottom to move the screen closer to your face. You can even put it against your eyes if you want to. The benefit is that there's more freedom in making it comfortable for your eyes and you can maximize the field of view. The first thing I noticed is that the comfort is fantastic. It was just like the PSVR 1. There's absolutely nothing to complain about this, but of course I only tried it for a short period, so my opinion on all this might change after my full review. My guide also turned on the pass-through so I could see what he was doing. I tried moving around while looking through the headset, which was a very comfortable experience as it was depth correct. I could easily see the things around me and grab the controllers he handed to me. It is too bad that it's still black and white, but the quality is noticeably higher than Quest 2's pass-through, which is good news. The lenses were a bit too far apart, so we went to set my interpupillary distance, or IPD. It was great as it uses eye tracking to guide you to adjust the lenses perfectly for the distance between your eyes and to make sure the headset is correctly positioned on your face. This is such an important step because if you don't get this right, the screen will look blurry and you might get a headache. Sony seems to understand this and made this effortless, which wasn't the case with PSVR 1. So definitely a big improvement. Then I got to see the eye tracking in action. When we finished calibrating it, I was impressed at how fast and responsive this was. The PSVR 2 is the first consumer headset that includes eye tracking, and it's exciting because you can use it for really fun stuff in VR games, like social interactions becoming more lifelike and for features like eye-tracked foveated rendering. In Horizon Call of the Mountain, the VR adaptation of the critically acclaimed Horizon series, they use eye tracking to navigate the menu. I don't know if they used foveated rendering, as my guide didn't know, and also I just didn't notice it. Could be because it was too fast for me to notice it, which could be a good sign, or it wasn't included in this version of the game. But I could use eye tracking to look at a menu item and then I could click using the controller. It made navigating faster. So now I'll share some gameplay impressions and thoughts on the display, tracking and haptics. So right after starting the game, it will ask you what comfort mode you want to play. Of course, I went with VR Veteran, which removes the vignette and gives you smooth turning. One thing I noticed was that my character in-game had floating hands and not a full body, which is a bit sad as I would have loved seeing my changing outfits like in the original games. But one of the other things I noticed when I just started the game was how beautiful the graphics were. light, reflections, shadows, everything looked amazing. The new OLED panels seem to really shine here with beautiful colors. The screen looks noticeably a lot better than the PSVR1, but I'm not sure if it looks better than other headsets yet. There was something off with the display. I noticed a bit of chromatic aberration, like colors overlaying each other. It was the most noticeable when looking at text in the menus. I also saw some kind of pattern noise constantly, which could be Mura or screen door effect. I can't quite pinpoint this yet, but it would be logical because there is some known disadvantages when using OLEDs instead of LCDs, but we'll have to test this side by side with other headsets when my pre-order comes in. Now, even though the headset still uses Fresnel lenses, which are known for having glare or God rays, I didn't notice anything like that so far. I thought the screen looked good and sharp overall, despite these inconsistencies. View to view looked good too, wider than PSVR1 and kind of similar to other headsets, maybe slightly wider if you can bring the display closer. A new feature that none of the other headsets have is head haptics. Developers can make your headset rumble during in-game events. Unfortunately, I didn't feel this much or totally forgot about it while playing the game, but I did talk to others who also tried the headset and they told me that they felt this at the beginning during a boat ride and that it was awesome. My guide skipped this as I was a little late to my demo because CS is way too big and I didn't expect it, so I didn't experience this. The controllers also have new haptics and like the PS5 controllers, they have adaptive triggers. I did feel the haptics on the controllers, which felt great as expected, but I didn't notice the adaptive triggers much during my short time with the demo, or at least it wasn't as strong as I noticed with the PS5 controllers. But I'm guessing this is because there weren't many moments that used this feature yet. I do love the ergonomics of the controllers though. It fits so nicely in my hands and I love the fact that I could roll them on my arms so I could have my hands free to do stuff. I don't know if that's the intended design, but I'm happy with it. The headset finally uses 6DoF inside-out tracking, which means you can turn and walk as much as you want as long as the cable can reach it. I had to get used to the cable again, but by now I'm a pro at that and I'm sure you'll be able to get used to it too. The controller tracking was pretty good. I didn't notice any drift, controller occlusion problems or latency. I had a great time with the bow and arrow where I had no tracking issues with the controllers beside my head or even behind my head. Climbing worked great 80% of the time. Inside out tracking performance can depend on the environment, so I lost controller tracking sometimes. At one time while climbing, it made me fall and die. My guide told me that it was because of the people on the other side of the screen which could mess with the tracking and that it won't happen at home. My time ended way too fast. 20 minutes felt like only a minute. I guess that also means Horizon was just a great demo. In just a short time, I got to try everything I wanted: climbing, combat, and facing the huge machines in real life. At one point, a snapmaw, Horizon's enormous crocodile enemy, jumped over me and I could see the actual scale of those crazy things. It was just amazing, especially if you're a fan of the original game. I wondered how they would make the combat, as it's pretty intense and fast-paced in the flat game, something that would be hard to do in VR. They showed some of that when I fought a Watcher. The combat seemed to be slowed down by only allowing me to sidestep in a circle. It was still pretty fast and intense, but just the right amount to give me adrenaline and not make me feel totally hopeless. I loved what I experienced and I can't wait to see what else the developers have done with the game. So far, I am impressed with what I could try on the PSVR2. It's just a huge step up from the PSVR1, and compared to other headsets, I think it will be the best overall experience. It's truly a next generation headset that I think will set a new benchmark for VR gaming. Yes, I did notice some things Sony seemed to compromise in, but it all seemed like a conscious choice where the things that they did include seems to make up for a lot. Honestly, I don't think these issues will matter that much, as you will probably forget about them when playing an immersive game. As a reviewer, I intentionally look for flaws, but if you don't don't look for them, you might not even notice them unless you're sensitive to visual detail. And with Sony's already strong content platform, it's undoubtedly a high recommendation if you own a PS5. Whether you should buy this headset and the PS5 over others, you have to subscribe and wait for my full review. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions about the PSVR2 and I will take them into account. Like this video while you're at it please, as it supports us a lot. See you in the next video. Special thanks to our champs and as always, VR on. Dag!